Anytime I have the lipstick on
Okay.
repeat.
We're live. Okay. I'll let you know, but you can see yourself. Hello, friends. We're live. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We're going to get right into it because you know that we talk sabbaticals, we talk taking a break from working so that you can travel and see the world or do whatever you want. We've got Veronica Montgomery as our guest today, who is doing that right now. Hello, Veronica.
Hey.
All right, so we're super excited to talk. Veronica's in Albania, right? So we're super excited to talk about like all of the adventures, about why Veronica took this trip, how long she's going to be gone for, and how she's paying for it. And then we're going to talk specifically about these countries that she's been to: Croatia, Italy, Mexico, Turkey. You know, we're going to talk about Turkey, okay? Yeah. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a year round house sitter and I'm the creator of House Sitter School. And I help Black women take a sabbatical or move abroad on a budget. If that sounds good to you, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure that you turn on notifications. Ring that notification bell so that you will be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with an awesome guest. So, welcome. All right. Hi, everybody. Let's take a quick look and say hey to everybody in the chat. Good morning. It's my time. Good morning, Adelia from Picky Girl Travels. Good morning, Sam Bob. Good morning, Eugenia. Good morning, Celeste. Hi, Kathy. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Girl Please. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Jamo. Good morning, 40 something fire. Hey, Fatima. H. Chafin. Okay, let's keep scrolling till I see my mom. Good morning, everyone. All right, where's my mom at? Let's see. Let me look for her. Okay, good morning. Okay. All right. Good morning, all of you. I'm glad that you're here. Even though I didn't do my due diligence, I didn't let you know too much ahead of time what we were talking about. I'm glad that you're here because I'm excited to talk about these places and even more excited to talk with Veronica about the idea of taking a sabbatical, the idea of having some time as an adult where you don't work, right? Where you get to do the things that you want to do. So hey, Veronica, tell us first. So I don't know. We don't know each other. So I'm gonna know everything. So
Hey.
first, tell us, where are you from and where were you living before you left?
Okay, so I'm originally from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida,
Okay.
and I moved to New York City in 2015, and from there, that's when I started traveling.
Okay. Good. And so you've been on this sabbatical for 9 months. Why? Or is it a sabbatical, or are you working while you travel?
Well, it started off as a sabbatical, but I think 9 months in, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back to the regular 9 to 5. Mentally, I can't do that. I
Okay.
can't do that. So I'm trying to figure things out.
Okay. I know that. So that is what happens. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
When you go on a sabbatical, your eyes get open to a new
Yes.
way. Like, is there another way? Is there a way of life where everything is not revolving around work, right? Where the work is not the sun of my solar system, where
Right.
work is just like Neptune or something. It's here, but it's
Right.
not the focus. Yeah.
Right.
So,
To go
okay, so
for permission for things, and after 9 months of doing what you want, no, I don't do
it's
that.
hard to go back. It's hard to go back. A lot of women
It is.
take a
It is.
sabbatical and next thing you know they may come back to work, but
Yeah.
life has changed. So originally your plan was to take a sabbatical and go back to work. What kind of work do you do, or did you do?
Well, I was a social work supervisor. So
Oh,
social work is my background.
all right.
Yeah.
And so how did the sabbatical come about? How did you decide, hey, I'm gonna take some time and not work and travel for a while?
So long story short, in 2016, my grandmother and my brother unexpectedly passed away like 4 months apart.
Oh.
So, sometimes in the Black community, it's like, oh, that's they just, God called them home,
Mm,
and you really don't deal with, you just kind of lock it away in your mind.
yeah.
So years have passed, and I started seeing changes in my behavior that to a point where I didn't even recognize myself.
Okay.
So then I sought therapy, and the therapist would ask me like, "What are some of the things that you like to do, or try something different?" And then in January, I went to France, 2019, and from there I said, "This is it.
Oh, okay.
This is it."
All right. I'm glad to hear that you went to the therapist, but I'm not
Mhm.
surprised to hear that the therapist was like, "Hey, if you like travel, go travel," right? It's their job to pull out of you the things that you've been hiding away, or not giving the attention that you want to give, including like the fun stuff, the good stuff that you want.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What was your everyday life like when you were before the sabbatical, when you were working and when you were trying to figure things out? Did you realize that you wanted to make such a big did you realize you wanted to do such a big step, take such a big step, or did you think I just need to find a way to deal with things the way that they are? You know what I mean?
Um, so I got to a point where every day, because I would go to work, right? I would do, social work. And then after that, I was also doing film,
Ah,
right? So my whole day would be like work, 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 work. And to the point where it just became too much. Like, you guys say, burnout.
burnout. Yeah.
Right? I didn't even know what that was
Ah,
until like now, like a few months ago, coming in contact with you guys.
mhm.
So it got to a point where I became so burnt out that I just needed a break, not just from work, but just from life,
Okay.
and to kind of figure out what's going on with me, because you sometimes you get to a point where you lose yourself and you look in the mirror and you don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
And that's the point that I had gotten to. So when I first went to France, it's just when I stepped off the plane, it was just something came over me. I didn't have to worry about work. I didn't have to worry about all of the things that we see on the news. And it was just like freedom to me. And I was like, whatever that feeling is, I have to continue doing that for my peace.
You nailed it, right? Freedom is the right word. Freedom is the right word. How long were you in France? How long was that trip?
It was like a week and a half.
Uh-huh.
And then I decided like I got to do this again. And then I went to like 3 months later, I went to Japan for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And like 4 months later, I went to Spain. And then I was like, that's it, I'm quitting. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to figure it out.
Wonderful. Yeah, so we don't know that feeling. Was this your first? So you talked about the freedom that you felt in France. Was that the first time? Was that a brand new feeling for you, or had you felt like
Oh
that before?
yes, I've never felt that before. I've never. It was so intense when I went to Barcelona in November, to the point where I cried.
Mhm.
I was like shaking because I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back. And at first I really didn't understand what that was
Yeah.
until I went back to my therapist and she explained it to me, like to help me understand my feelings. So I knew then that I had to figure out something.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you did. I'm so glad that you did, and that your therapist was like your biggest champion. That's it's Rashida on the Loose. Rashida Dow, who is Sheeta's on the Loose on YouTube, has an initiative called Find a Therapist February, where that's the whole aim is to get Black women resources for therapy because it's helpful, right?
Oh yes, yes, and I need it. We all need it sometimes.
We need it. We need it. We live in stress. We live in a toxic environment. We live in a toxic country. Some of us have toxic jobs. Your job situation may not be toxic, but what it does to you can be toxic. I can't
Right,
imagine, right, working in social services for years and not coming away with some trauma. I can't. I
right, and
don't
then
know if
you
that
have your own trauma.
in your own. Yes. Right.
Right, you have your own trauma, and you're trying to help everybody else with their trauma, and now boom, a pandemic, and now you have clients who's dying. So
Yeah.
it was just too much.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see an increase. I already know that it's a movement. Black women taking a break, pressing pause for a while.
Mhm.
It's a movement. I already know that, but I think we're only going to see it become more and more um, normalized and commonplace
Right.
after the pandemic. Once people can say, "Listen, I'm tired. I need some time.
I
A,
need a break.
a long weekend is not going to do it for me.
Right.
I
And
need
one week is not enough.
Not enough. I need some time. I need some healing. All right.
Right.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna say some things in the chat. Hi, Angela. Now, Rashida has a video on her channel on free and low cost therapy resources. Her YouTube channel is Sheeta's on the Loose. I'm sorry, I don't have the link directly to that video. But if you go to youtube.com/Sheeta's on the Loose, youtube.com/she does. Every time I do this. I say I need to link to that video. I need to, just so that I can just link to it when I need it. Sheeta's on the loose because it's super helpful. It's
Mhm.
free and low cost therapy resources. Okay, so let me find it. There you go. Okay, so if you go to her channel, you'll see it. You can click on that now if you're on your laptop or your whatever. You can click on it now and you won't lose this video. Open that up in a new window and look for that video today. Like seriously, look for that video now so that you can watch it when we leave here. Okay, it's good, helpful info on, of course, like it says, free and low cost therapy resources for women. Okay, in 2021, when we need help, we get help. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah. I am Karen Louise, says Veronica paused and became free, and she is shining. She is shining.
Yes.
That's the no job glow, right? That's the glow of I get to do what I want.
Yes. Yes. I worked hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. And I'm not a fan of hard work, right? So I'm not a fan of it. I think that Black women get the worst end of the stick in the hard work
Yes.
conversation,
Oh
right?
my God. Yes.
Yeah, we're supposed to work hard. No, I don't think so.
We're
I really don't think so.
superwoman. We're Jesus. We're the jury. We're the judge. We're the doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, sociologist. We're everything.
It's probably harder for you being the psychologist the psychologist slash therapist for people is one of the first things I gave up. I was in the army when I was younger, and so I'm not one of those people who's like, I don't have women friends. I have male friends. I'm not that. That is not what I'm saying. But I am saying that I had a disproportionate amount of male friends because I was in the army. For in my younger days, 100 years ago, and I one day I woke up and I was like, people pay therapists for things, for the things that I am doing. I'm listening to these people. No, I cut it off, right? I cut it off. That was labor. That was one of the first forms of labor that I cut out of my life. I'm not listening. You can call me. You can talk to me, but I ain't got nothing to say. Maybe I'm not even going to listen, right? Probably.
Don't come to me. Go to Jesus, because I got problems of my own
I got my
and
own.
my own healing.
That's exactly right. That's one of the first things I cut off. I see that a lot in like younger women, being very like upfront about the fact that men expect you to be their therapist. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
no, not anymore. Yeah,
Need fixing?
come to me already whole, please.
Oh, please, thank you.
I'll take a whole man. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was one of the things that I cut off. We don't do super women over here. We don't celebrate exhaustion and martyrdom. We don't do that.
I love that.
No. Cynthia Hart says shaking. I felt that. I knew what it was. I didn't want to come back. I felt that too. I felt that too. I think that a lot of times, right, we feel the feeling of being abroad or being somewhere in a different situation and feeling free, but we just don't know that we have options. We don't know that we have an option to make a change. So, Veronica, you knew that you wanted to travel, but did you know that it was possible and realistic for you to quit your job and travel? Did you at that time? So after you visit France and Japan and was it Spain? After you visited these places
Hmm.
and came back, did you know that this was a real thing that you could do? How did this idea come to you?
Google. So
Yes.
I went straight to Google. I was like, okay, now I know I could probably go places, but I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So I went to Google and I was like, travel unemployed. Like I was just like putting words together. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just go to YouTube. And then I came across this black woman who had this nice big fro. And I was like, okay, let me listen to her, see what she got to say. And I was like, sabbatical? What is that? Never heard of it. And then I watched video after video after video. And this same black woman was talking to some light skinned woman named Sheeta on the Loose. And then I went to her video and I was like, That's it.
That's it.
So it was because, if I'm being honest, it really was because I watched one of your videos where you explained about what a sabbatical is, and you know, just working to exhaustion and things of that nature. Then I watched like other videos and travelers, and I was just watching to the point where I watch, like when you go on your phone to see how many hours you watch, I watch like thousands of hours a day. Like I was like, even at work, I was like this, just watching.
Hmm.
So that's what so that's what I did. I just Googled it and watched YouTube videos to understand and learn how I can do this. I knew I could, but I didn't know how. And
Yes.
through you guys, how I learned how.
I'm glad. Google changed my life, right? I Googled the same. I Googled how do you travel with no money because after
Right.
I did what you did. I took a sabbatical. I called it a gap year. I took a year where I traveled. I
Mhm.
came back with no money and I got a job for 3 months. And then I was like,
Mhm.
okay, but I want to do it again, but I got no money. And Google told me to house sit. Right? Google told me to become a house sitter, and that changed everything for me. I started
Wow.
sharing that I was a house sitter and that I started sharing sabbatical stuff and I started partnering with Rashida on things. And Google told
Mhm.
you to come and talk to us, right?
Sure did.
That's
Sure
it.
did.
That's it. That's it. That's why we talk, right? That's why we talk our talk. Because
Right.
we know here's so Sheeta D. So Jennifer, Sheeta's not here because she's doing she's doing group coaching with her
Just
ladies
scared.
and from
She's
burnout
scared.
to bliss. She will tell you she's not light skinned. Okay, so I just want to say in her absence, I will agree with Jennifer that Rashida does say that she's not light skinned. In my family, she would be called light skinned.
Mine too.
But she will say that. Yes. So let's talk about a time frame. When was this? When do you think this was on the calendar?
So this was when I got back from Spain in November 2019. I knew then that I had to make a change, and I spent all that time, even through Christmas break and all of that, just like researching. So I would say the beginning mark where I started like really focusing and honing on like saving was about 2019.
Okay.
Before I was actually doing it, but I wasn't like I didn't have a plan. I just knew save, but the actual plan came about then.
Okay, good. And so what did that plan look like? What was your first idea of what you were going to do? I know because you said it's changed now to maybe not this, maybe this is not a sabbatical, maybe this is a whole new life. But what was that first plan?
So the first plan was, okay, so where can I go? How long can I stay? Um, how much is it going to cost? So I just kind of made a list of places that always kind of like interest me that were connected to certain people. Like for example, like James Baldwin in Paris, right? So I kind of put those places down. And then I went to Google, of course, and YouTube, of course. I just kind of put a list of places because I didn't want to go anywhere that was extremely expensive, and I also wanted to go somewhere that is culturally different.
Yes.
So Asia, Southeast Asia, was number one for me.
Okay. All right. So how much did you decide was gonna? Okay. So your original plan was it 1 year?
The original plan was it was technically it was a year and a half
Oh,
because of the changes in my job. The contract ended in June 2020. So I
yes.
was going to take the rest of 2020 and all of 2021 and then decide what I was going to do
Okay.
after that. So I was going to do it actually a year and a half.
Okay. Good. And what did you decide was going to be your budget? Like, how much did you say you needed for that year and a half?
So I was thinking probably like because I was told by you via your own video 1200.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what, let me probably be a little realistic because hostels, I
Mhm.
don't know if
Right.
I want to do that.
Right.
So, so I was like, okay, about 1500.
Okay.
That's my max.
Good. Okay, so I'm doing the math because I can't figure it out on my own. Okay, so what Veronica's talking about is during when I traveled for a year in 2015, I traveled on $1,200 a month. That was even before I was house sitting. And I did that by, just like she said, going to inexpensive places. And I stayed in hostels, in dorm rooms in hostels, in bunk beds in hostels a lot of that time. And I did some work exchanges where I stayed in people's homes and did nanny, like part-time nanny work for them to cut down on the cost as well. So that was mine. $1,200 a month. 12 months was 14,400. So 18,000. I think I did 12 months though. So you're talking 1,500, not for 12 months, but for 18 months.
Right.
That's right. Okay, so $27,000. I said $18,000, but it's really $27,000 for that
Hmm.
whole year and a half.
Hmm.
Good. Okay, so that's a good budget. How, okay, so I'm going to go in two different directions at the same time. How do you feel, how do you feel? So right now you're still traveling on $1,500 a month in Albania, in Croatia, in Italy.
Well, my budget got a little so because I went to certain places and it's peak season,
Yeah.
summertime,
Yes.
so prices kind of like went up a little bit on certain things, but I try my best to stay within that budget.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm around that budget. Maybe slightly over sometimes, but around there.
Okay. And how hard is it to stay in that budget? Like how difficult is it if for $1,500 a month in this part of Europe? Are you living okay? Are you bathing from a
Oh.
bucket? Right? Like I've done that.
No.
Are you staying in places with no running water? Is what I'm saying on 15
No.
a month.
So in where I'm at right now in Albania, it's beyond possible. You can rent like apartment for like $300-$400. And if you want something a little bit more Western, I think maximum is like around five-ish. So you could definitely stay within a $1,200 budget if that's your budget.
Good. Okay. And then I guess Paris. Well, I don't know, maybe. So I've only been to Paris for short periods of time. Paris, I would guess, though, is a harder place on 1,500. Or do you remember what that budget looked like?
I stayed in a hotel,
Mhm.
so think I I think I spent around that amount when I'm because my I know my round trip was about 275. I think it was
Uh,
275. And then you have the hotel, which was about four-ish, I think, for like a week or so.
okay.
And then out to eat. And
Mhm.
then of course, I did like museums and things of that nature. So I was well under that budget.
Good. So Paris, you can do it. Okay. Why did you choose hotels instead of like an Airbnb or an apartment type situation?
Well, currently I'm doing both Airbnb and hotels, and I chose it because of when I developed sciatica. It's kind of difficult to go to like a hostel
Mhm.
when I have my moments where I'm like in pain and I don't want to be inconsiderate and kind of like keep other people up.
Okay.
So that's why my budget kind of went up
Okay.
with my spending. Yeah, I had to increase the budget because I have to accommodate myself
Okay.
to be considerate. You know what I mean, of
Yeah.
like others.
Okay. Okay. But you are sometimes doing Airbnbs because they're usually, well, I don't know. I was going to
I do.
say Airbnbs are probably more budget friendly, but not necessarily because there are plenty of places with hotels
Yeah.
that are reasonably priced.
Right, right. So I'm doing both. Like now I'm in a Airbnb, but I've done hotels like hotel Airbnb. So it just kind of like depends.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, mix it up. All right.
Yeah.
So where did the $1,500 a month come from? This $27,000? Do you want to tell us where it came from? Was it
How
savings
did
that you already had? Was it savings that you
Oh,
took
yeah, yeah.
time to accrue? Was it a divorce alimony, an alimony payment? Because
I wish.
I want
I
that.
wish I had one. But no, the money, yes, it definitely came from me saving. Right when I decided to just start, before I had a plan, right before I decided to start, I had gotten a promotion to supervisor.
Okay.
So of course now I'm making extra money. So I was able to put up about a whole check. So I was able to put up about 1,600 a month.
Wow, great.
Yeah. I was able to put up a lot because and then I'm really a minimalist person, right? So I'm not a type of person who get hair done every week, nails done,
Uh,
clothes, shopping, da 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 da. I didn't have all that. I'm not that type of person. And living in when I was in New York, my only bill was my rent, my electricity, and my cell phone.
okay. Good.
Like I literally only had three bills, and I was able to pay all of that out of one check.
Yes. Oh, even in New York.
Even in New York, yeah, I was able
Good.
to pay all of that out of one check. So I was, and then I of course had my credit cards. So then I would just, put away as much as I can. I would actually get to a point where like if I didn't need it, I didn't buy it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was very if you don't need it, if it's not a life or death situation, do not buy it. And
Yeah.
that's how I was able to save.
I used to compare things to a day in Thailand, right? Do I want to go out with my coworkers after work for happy hour? Because we used to go to I worked night shift and we would go to happy hour at Bob Evans in the morning. We would get off work at 7 in the morning. Somebody would bring the vodka, and we would eat Bob Evans breakfast with orange juice and vodka. We called it, and I called it happy hour. They didn't call it
Five
happy.
in the morning. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
right. Yes, it's perfectly acceptable, I believe. I think so because to us it was It was almost bedtime, right? So I'm like, but do I want to go to Bob Evans, spend this 20? It's only $20, right? Do I want to spend this $20, or do I want a half a day in Thailand, right?
Right.
Do I want to go out to eat, at a restaurant if we're going out?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be $40. Outside is expensive. So you can't go outside,
Mm-hmm.
without spending money. Do I want to go outside and spend $40, $60, or do I want one more day in Thailand? That's how I used to navigate things. Sometimes the answer was, I want to go to Bob Evans for happy hour. And then other times, most of the time, it was like, nah, I'll see them later. I'll see them when I get back from Thailand. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not going
that's
away.
it's all a trade-off. It's all a trade-off. Like, do I want this now or do I want this other thing later? And sometimes you can try to navigate both. Maybe you take a shorter sabbatical and
Right.
live and enjoy your life now. Or
Right.
maybe you take a longer sabbatical and you just stay in the house right now.
Right. Sometimes I chose that option
Yeah.
just so that because just to walk outside costs.
It's
So
expensive
to open the
outside.
door and stand out, it costs money. So
It's expensive outside. You can't go outside without spending money. That my parents make fun
right.
of me. When I come home, when I'm not house sitting, I'm home with my parents in Dover, Delaware. When I come home, I don't leave I'm not leaving. Well, I may leave the house because I walk around the neighborhood. I'm not leaving the neighborhood. When I leave the neighborhood, it's an event. They're like, "Did you actually go somewhere?" I'm like, I don't want to go. It's expensive.
It is.
So
It
yes,
is.
yes. So that's the new math. Professor LCH calls it the new math. That's right. That's right. Dollars aren't necessarily dollars. They're days in Thailand, right? Or days in whatever place you want to be
That's a
in.
good way of thinking.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Let me see if we have questions. Okay. So we do have questions. Okay. So you were in New York City. So did you own or were you renting your home?
Renting an
Okay.
apartment. Yeah.
Okay. And was your lease up at a specific time? Was it easy to move?
Yeah. And that's how I knew it was heaven sent because my job had a new contract in June, and my director was like, "Come back, Veronica, come back, just reapply," because everybody literally had to reapply, and I'm like, "No." And then I thought about, I was like, "Well, wait a minute, the contract is ending in June, and my lease is up in June. That's a sign,
That's a sign. That is
time." And I knew it was time. I knew it was
good.
time to go.
Good. All right. And so when did you, but you didn't leave? I don't think you left until after Exodus Summit, or did I just not know about things until after Exodus Summit?
No, I left after Exodus Summit. I packed my things. I sold whatever I couldn't sell. I gave it away, and then I went back to Florida and really honed in like, what is my plan? What I'm going to do? How much tickets cost? And then that's when I got to that part of tickets and actually say I'm going to go here, here, here. And then that's when I came across the you guys spoke about the summit, and
Okay.
I left December 28th or 29th of last year.
I'm sorry. Tell me the date again.
28th or 29th of last year,
Of
December.
December. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, okay. I was going to say November. Okay. Good. Yeah. Rashida and I run a summit last year. Exodus Summit was September of 2020. And
Mhm.
Veronica attended the summit. We had sessions on how to take a sabbatical. Okay. This is a good time to talk about what's happening this year because it's next week. Exodus 2021 is called Homecoming. And we're talking to Black women about how to take a sabbatical or move abroad. Same thing, right? This is what we talk about. This is what we do. And so you're invited to attend. This is This time it's 3 days. This is 3 days of sessions designed to answer your questions about how you lady, friend, person, black woman, how you can do this. Instead of just watching and celebrating Veronica, we celebrate that Veronica took her peace of mind and her mental health into her own hands, and her dreams, right? Her dreams of travel into her own hands. We celebrate that, okay? But we don't want you to just celebrate other women doing it. Okay, we want you to do it for yourself. I hope that you will attend Exodus Homecoming. It's next Saturday. Okay, so if you're putting off buying your tickets, it's time to get your tickets. $15 for the weekend pass, $145 for the accelerated program, where you will get group coaching from Rashida and myself, where you will get a workshop on getting residency in either Portugal, Mexico, or France, where you will get house sitter school, which is my digital course to help you book your first house sit, where you will get a discount on From Burnout to Bliss, the group coaching that Rashida is doing right now with her ladies. A group coaching, 4 months of group coaching where you have support on getting your plan together. Okay, so you get these things when you register for the accelerated program. If you want to register for the $15 weekend pass instead, you still get all of the sessions and, yes, replays. You get our sessions from this year, you get the replays from last year as well, and replays from this year. Yes, okay, so I hope that you will be there. We want to put a plan down. Get a plan down, right? You hear Veronica saying she knew that she wanted to do it, but then she took, after June, when she moved back to Florida, that's when she's worked on that plan. I want you to get your plan together, okay? Get your listen. We're doing our thing, but we don't want you to keep watching. Some of you, I saw your comments in here. Some of you are like, yes, I binge watched your videos for a whole weekend. I lost the whole weekend. I'm sorry. YouTube will do that to you because they'll be like, what about this video? What about that video? Okay, I know what that's like, but I don't want you to keep watching. I've been very clear on this. I hope. I don't want you to keep watching. I want you to do. I want you to be at a point where you no longer need my videos, where you no longer need the summit. Okay? So please register, ExodusHomecoming.com. Okay? I'm going to take it off the screen now. It's linked in the description. If you're watching the replay, hello, friends. It's in the description. September 24th through 26th, all online. If you are watching after that date, go to the website, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be there. But maybe you're watching and we're doing something else. Maybe you're watching at a time when there's something else. So go to the website, see what's there. But if you're watching this weekend when this video is coming out, register and attend. Okay. Thank you for letting me do that commercial, Veronica.
It's okay.
Thank you. All right.
Because
So
they need to attend, so they need the details.
they need to go. They need to go. We do this we made this for you guys, okay? Because we're already doing it. Like, I don't have a job. I ain't got no job. I'm already living my travel dream. I'm a house sitter. I get to bop around. Rashida's already living her dream. She lives in Mexico City, her favorite city in the world. So we've already done it. So this summit is not for us, right? We made it for you because we want you to do it. If you want it, we want it for you. Okay. So I see some faces in here who are registered. Hello. Hi, y'all. Thank you. We can't wait. Leroy, you have a good question. Can a man attend the conference? Okay. So the summit is for Black women and the information is tailored to Black women. We're speaking to Black women. There is information that is helpful to people who are not Black women. Okay, so the weekend pass, if you register for the weekend pass and you want to watch the sessions, you're welcome to do that. But the accelerated program with the on-camera events and the group coaching and the Zoom calls, those are for Black women only. Okay. So, and if someone does register for the accelerated pass and they show up to the group coaching and they're not a Black woman, we will refund you and send you on your way. Okay. So if you want to watch some sessions with the weekend pass, it's okay. Just understand that this is information that is tailored to Black women. Sometimes men get in here on the chat or they get on sessions and they're like, but what about men? But what about, if you can attend without typing the question, what about men? Then we won't probably even know that you're there, frankly. But it can be really hard for men to not do that, right? What about, do you have any info for men? I'm like, if this info is not helpful for you, I don't know what to tell you. That's that on that. But this is a session. These sessions are for Black women. Okay. There are men who talk on YouTube, but I don't know that they have any events going or that they do any coaching. So holler at some of those men if you feel like your population is being neglected. Holler at them or start your own. Right? Start your own because we are not universal, right? What I do, what Rashida does, what some of the women in the chat today, Adelia from Picky Girl Travels, is not. It ain't for everybody. It's not. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you. Okay. So we talked about the money, and we talked about we talked a little about the destinations, but I want to dig into the destinations. But before we do that, I do want to talk about, so since your therapist is the person who encouraged you, maybe not you encouraged yourself, but your therapist helped you make this decision. Were there people who were opposed to this for you, were opposed to the idea of you not working for a long period of time and living your living your dreams?
Well, yeah, you of course you have your family that's going to be like, well, how are you going to do this, and where are you going to do that, and who? Like I told my mom, I was in Albania, and she was like, Al who?
That's
So
the
I was
right answer.
like,
That's the right question.
Al who? Albania? I'll need my Albania. She was in Albania.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, so you're gonna have people that's a little bit skeptical because they don't understand,
Yes.
what it is. I didn't take it as, I don't know if hatred is the
Right.
correct word. I took it as lack of understanding because it's a journey for me and not a journey for them.
Yeah.
It's a decision I made to better myself, so I didn't expect them to fully understand,
Uh-huh.
but so
Yeah.
now we're in a better place now. They're just like, oh yeah, she's Cola's gonna do what she wanted to.
Okay. Yeah. When I left to go, I told my parents I was going to Thailand, even though I knew I was going to bop around Southeast Asia. I told them I was going to Thailand because I thought that was
Hmm.
more acceptable. And my mom freaked out and she had called everybody and told everybody. I think she may have thought that I was losing my mind.
Hmm.
My mom loves me and supports me, and I'm living in her home right now, right? But I think at that point she did think I was losing it. And my cousin Kim called me. Kimmy called me and was like, Stephanie, what's going on in Taiwan? And I was like, I don't know, Kim, what? And she said, your mom said you're going there. I said, I'm not going to Taiwan. I'm going to Thailand, just a different place. And then she was like, and then someone else was like, oh, I heard you're going to Tahiti. I'm like,
Tahiti, just all over the place.
y'all don't even know. They don't even know. Y'all freaking out about some country. You don't even know where I'm going, right? Yeah. People just want to keep you safe. And sometimes the idea of
Right.
keeping you safe means keeping you where you are. They don't
Right.
understand what's going to happen when you grow because they haven't done the research. They haven't watched the hours and
Right.
hours and hours of
Right.
YouTube
So
videos.
they have absolutely no idea.
No, no idea. Okay, so where did you start? Where did we start on our sabbatical? Where did we go first?
So I started out in Mexico. I
How,
went to Mexico City.
how did you choose it?
I was like, when I thought about it, because at first I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna go to France. I'm back to France. I'm gonna go to this state and
Uh-huh.
So then I thought about it, and then a nerve set in,
Uh,
and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so I don't want to go too far.
yeah.
So let me go somewhere that's kind of like around the corner up the block.
Yes.
So that's so that's why I chose Mexico, just to kind of like get my feet wet, just to see if I can actually do it.
Yes.
So that's why I chose Mexico.
Good
And
choice.
of course, I started to doing the research, and I was like, okay, it seems pretty cool. So let me go.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's close to Florida, right? So if you don't like it, it's easy to get home,
Right.
easy to get back. And Rashida does make it seem nice. I'm not a city girl, but she does make Rashida and Adelia both live in Mexico City. They
Hmm.
make it seem awesome. So that's a good
Hmm.
choice. All right. So you talked about trips. Are you going round trip back and forth to the US? Are you going back to the US in between places? You
Oh
talked about round
no,
trip tickets? Oh, okay.
no! I bop around in the same country.
Oh,
So from Mexico City, I went to Guadalajara, And then from Guadalajara, I went to my favorite, San Miguel.
Uh,
That's my favorite city
yes.
in Mexico.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
All right.
I then went to back to Mexico City because that's when I was in San Miguel's when I had a medical issue, and I went back to Mexico City to get some treatment, and then I went to not Porto, but Puerto Vallarta, and then a couple other cities before I officially left. I was in Mexico for about 4.5 months, almost five.
Good. Okay. How did you feel about Puerto Vallarta, the beach? So I always wonder because in Florida, you said you're from South Florida, so you're from the.
Right.
So how did you feel about the beaches there?
I loved it. It was so clear. Like the hotel I had, like I could just lay in bed and see the ocean, see the sea, the water.
Hmm.
It was just so clear and just so blue. So it was just beautiful. I
Good.
like Puerto Vallarta.
Good. Let's see. I haven't been that far. I think Sayulita is the closest I've been, which is pretty close.
Hmm.
Right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're pretty close. But I didn't
Hmm.
get down that far. Yeah. All
Hmm.
right, good. Okay, so Mexico gets a thumbs up from you.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
I'm guessing that was probably a place where it was easier to stay within the $1,500 budget.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I did both. I did hotel and Airbnb.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. I'm asking questions I have, but I'm not asking questions y'all have. So let's see what's happening in the chat. And then, so then next we went to, after Mexico.
So after Mexico, I went to, I think I went, did I go back? I went to Florida for like a week or two. I think I went back for like a week or two. And then I went to Turkey. Yeah, I went
Ah,
to Turkey,
okay.
to Mexico. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Turkey. I think Turkey is going to be, I feel like Turkey is going to be like one of my most favorite places ever. So how do you rate Turkey? Give Turkey either a letter or
Um,
a number. I don't care.
well, I've only been to Istanbul and Cappadocia.
Ah, you didn't get to the
Yes.
area like Antalya and what?
No, I didn't do those. I didn't do those cities yet.
Uh-huh.
Say
Yes,
that.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
you are.
I didn't
You're
do
right
those
there.
yet. But I did Istanbul and I did Cappadocia. I think Cappadocia is just for me. I'm a visualist, so if I see something, I'm just like, oh my god, So Cappadocia is just beautiful.
Well, all I know is about the hot air balloons. That's the place, right? With the hot air balloons and everything.
Yeah,
Looks like it's in a cave. It looks like it's like a whole
yeah.
out of caves. Okay, it was that
well,
good.
they have hotels, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like carved out hotels like in caves, but it's like I forgot the name of those. I don't want to call them rocks and stuff. I
Uh,
don't know the correct word. I forgot,
They rocks to
but
me too.
but I had a good time there, and I think what made my time even great was the hotel that I stayed at because it was owned by a family, and they were just so sweet and so nice. And the number one thing is the food in Turkey,
Hmm.
like hands down. It's just will I take. It gets to a point where you're like, do you want soul food or do you want Turkish food? And you're like,
Oh,
You know,
really?
it's really. I don't even think I eaten anything that was kind of like. I think I ate one thing, one chicken wrap that was kind of like meh,
Okay.
but everything else is like, can I have a second? Can I have a third, fourth, fifth?
All right.
Yes, the food is amazing.
Okay. Oh, so it's kind of. I think of. I don't know. I haven't been yet, but I think of Turkish food as kind of like a little Greek and a little Middle Eastern. Does that?
I think so.
What did you? What was your favorite? What did you eat that you're like this? I love to eat this. Whatever this is called, I love it.
I like the shish kebab. I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can get it with like beef or you can get it with lamb, and I always got it with the lamb. So
Yes.
you can get it in a wrap, or you can get it in this big, like big, huge plate, and you have like onions and peppers and I think it's like yogurt and like all these different type of ingredients. You can create your own little wrap. So I would say that's my favorite.
Good.
because it's something so simple, yet something so like tasteful and well seasoned.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. That's what I think of when I think of Turkey. I think good food, right? I think of good
Yeah.
weather. They have beautiful beaches from what I've seen. Also, so how are you treated as a black person? That's my question mark about Turkey.
Well, Cappadocia, I didn't have any issues.
Okay.
I didn't have any issues. When it comes to Istanbul, I did have a few hiccups. Three of the hiccups was like with cab drivers. And
Uh,
sometimes you get that kind of like everywhere. So I don't know if it I don't know if it was because the cab drivers were just like rude in nature
uh,
or if I was a black woman. I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. But I did have a few hiccups with them and just another hiccup with like this lady. But other than that, like if I had to say, judge it all together, I had a few hiccups, but it was still a good experience.
Good. That's why I tried my hardest not to take cabs in places because it's hardly ever a pleasant experience.
Well,
Uber?
you have to in Istanbul because you have if you're not a resident, you can't get like a metro card to use the metro system. Or maybe you can get somebody else's I think it's like an identification number and then you can kind of like register. But I mean I don't know how many people can register under like one number,
Okay.
right? So you have to have this, you have to be a resident or a permit, you have to have a permit or something. It's just when you register to get like a Metro card, you have to have an ID. And the only way you can get it is if you're a resident.
I didn't know
So
that.
you're kind of
So sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, so you're kind of forced to either walk or take a cab.
Okay. I didn't know that. I did know that like you have to register your cell phone there if you're a tourist, right? Turkey is a little
Yeah.
different. So they keep an eye on people, right? They keep an eye.
Yeah.
You have to register your cell phone, I think, every 90 days or something. Or tourists only get 90 days. And then if you're staying longer on that residency permit, residency visa, you have to register your cell phone with them. So I didn't know the same thing with the metro, but it sounds like a similar thing as with the cell phones. The good news
Oh,
is that Turkey does have a temporary, like a digital nomad residency permit or residency visa. They do have one. And Laila,
yeah. It's
did
a
you meet?
year. A year.
And you know Laila.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
so Laila has that, and she's speaking at Exodus Homecoming 2021 specifically about her getting this residency in Turkey, which opens up, unlocks all of these things.
A
Unlocks
lot of things that you need.
yeah, I'm interested in that myself because I hope to be in Turkey for 2022. Like all as much of 2022 as humanly possible. I hope to spend
Oh,
that in.
really?
Yes,
Okay.
I can't wait. I think it's the place for me. I think I'm
Oh.
gonna love it. I don't know for sure. I've been wrong before. I was super wrong about Malaysia, but I think I'm right about Turkey. For
Okay.
many reasons. One of them is the men, and we're going to get into dating in a little bit. But first, I want to acknowledge these super chats. Hello. Thank you very much for the super chats. We're giving the super chat to Veronica to thank her for her time and her info. Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to give you some cash. YouTube lets people give you cash, and so they're giving you cash. So,
Okay.
the On Trade Street. Okay, thank you. Pair character who says thank you. Thanks. I'm on a third party app called Ecamm Live, and it won't
Uh-huh.
show me the emoji, but it will describe the emoji. So thank you for that.
Thank
And,
you.
and Kathy says, "Cheers to freedom." Yes, Kathy. Yes,
Freedom. You
yes,
know that
Kathy.
song,
Yeah.
Kathy?
And Larissa Puri, thank you. Larissa says, "I love that this is for Black women only." Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, Larissa. Hey, Larissa's um, done some house sitting recently. All right. Okay, so thank you, friends, for those super chats. The super chats are going to Veronica today. I know some of you guys prefer to send Cash App because you don't want YouTube to take a cut. My Cash App is SM Perry. $ SM Perry is my Cash App. If you want, no need to, but we'll send that over to Veronica when the day is done. Okay? All right. So I hinted at it, right? Why I think Turkey's going to be so great. So you were okay. Let's talk about the time of year that you were there. When did you
Okay.
when did you get there?
I think it was June. So it was in summertime. And your team no winter.
Uh-huh.
So you're
Yes.
gonna love the summer, but the summers is hot now.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you just walk outside and say, "Not today," and go back
Okay.
inside.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
That's
it can get
interesting.
very. So you definitely need sunscreen.
Okay.
You definitely need sunscreen.
That's good to know because Stacy, that is what I was wrong about Malaysia. I was wrong. Malaysia has great food. I love me some Malaysian food. Nasi goreng. I have not had nasi goreng in years, and I still remember that those meals. Right? It's just rice and lamb. It's just a dish, right? I still remember it. They had at the time they had a residency visa called Malaysia My Second Home that was pretty easy to get, so that you could stay there and not just be a tourist. Easy to bop from Malaysia to the rest of the Southeast Asia and the rest of the world. Kuala Lumpur is an airport that's easy to get into and out of and get to the rest of the world. Very low cost of living and very good high speed internet, right? All the things that I need, except it was so, I wasn't prepared for the heat and humidity. Malaysia feels like you live on the sun. Wanda from the Black Women Travel podcast, that's how she described it. And I was like, that, that is what it felt like. I wasn't prepared. I thought I knew what 90 degrees and 90% humidity felt like, but it's different there. It's not the same. This is not, we're not
And
talking
that's what
about
I heard too.
we're not
Yeah.
talking about Houston 90. We're not talking about New Orleans 90. We're not talking about Miami. This is Malaysia 90. It's a different 90. I don't know. I can't take it. I am team boycott winter, but I'm also team boycott really hot summer as well. So
It's
that's what
oven
I was
heat. It's oven heat.
that's what I was wrong about. I think that Turkey ticks all of those boxes that I named as well,
Hmm.
except for the and no, I don't mean except for. In addition, I think one of the things that Malaysia didn't have that Turkey has is men who are taller than me, who I think I would like to make Mr. Perry. I think Mr. Perry, the future,
Make Mr. Perry.
I think the future Mr. Perry may live in Turkey. Are you doing any dating while you're traveling? Is this something that you have time for? Is it something you're not thinking about right now?
Oh, I have all the time. I just can't find the person I can time with.
Are you on any apps? Are you doing any online dating? It's
Ooh, haven't
2021.
no, and I need to get. Okay, so years ago, my
Yes.
coworkers convinced me to do Tinder,
Yes.
and I had a horrible date.
Yes.
I had a horrible date,
Mhm.
horrible first experience, and I just deleted the app and never looked back. So I haven't. I'm traumatized. So so I haven't looked back, but I see a lot of people kind of like talking about like Bumble and Tinder and all these other different apps I never heard of. So I'm kind of thinking about it.
Okay.
But outside of the apps, I haven't met. No, I haven't met anyone that kind of like caught my eye. Unfortunately,
Let me tell you, so Tinder in the United States, basura. Do you speak Spanish at all?
it's
Trash.
bad.
Trash.
Okay.
I don't Tinder in the US. I don't have Tinder on my phone in the US. But I've never tried Bumble, so some people like Bumble. But Tinder outside
Okay.
of the US is different. It's anything is different when you're there for a
Really?
little period of time and
Okay.
you don't have time for the time wasters. I
Hmm.
like Tinder when I'm bopping around the globe because hey, I'm in town
I
for three
might
days.
download it again.
Yeah, I'm in town for 3 days. Either you're buying me drinks or you're not, right? We don't have time to become pen pals. I don't do pen pals. It's so annoying. I'm like,
It
stop,
is.
stop. Don't send me another message. Drinks or nothing, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
just such a kind of like an introvert, so
yes.
it's like I don't know how to like what do I? I'll be like, what do I say? What do I do? I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
hold
I
on.
need
I see you
a
guys.
little bit of coaching
I see you
help.
guys. It should be Stephanie Perry. My name is Stephanie Perry. So when you do Cash App, SM Perry 302. Oh, you know what? That's wrong. That's the wrong Cash App, y'all. I'm sorry. It's SM Perry. See, this is why I don't do things. Last week, I was pressured into putting my PayPal on the screen when I knew I wasn't prepared to put my PayPal on the screen. And this is why I don't do things under pressure because I get them wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know. It might be S Perry 302. Somebody tell me what my Cash App is. S Perry 302. It's one of these. S Perry 302. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. If you want to make sure I get it, send it here on the super chat. If YouTube does take 30%, but if you want it to come to me, I'm gonna say S Perry 302. That's wrong too. Okay, so what's on the screen is also wrong. Okay, let me get another S Perry. I'm sorry if y'all gave Stefan some money. I'm sorry. Just charge it to the game. I'm sure he's a nice person. If y'all send it to the first one I put on there, I'm sure he's a nice person, and I'm sure it's hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. Just in my, it'll be as though it's the thought that counts. Okay, but this is my true Cash App. Okay, I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry. Y'all know this is why I don't usually put things on the screen that I don't already have typed out. This is why I only copy and paste. That's my real Cash App. Okay. Yeah, so are we saying that? Yes, thank you, Fatima. Fatima's trying to help me. Thank you, Fatima. Okay. So are we saying that who votes that Veronica tries? Let's leave a thing. Anybody have an experience with one or the other that one is better? Should she try Bumble and not Tinder? Should she try both? Is there somebody else that we're ignoring? I really do think when you're traveling around, it just makes it easier, especially if you're not staying in hostels. Like when you're staying in hostels, like when you want to meet someone, you just turn to the right and there he is at dinner, at breakfast, right? You're all sitting at a breakfast table, right? But when you're not staying in a hostel, if you're staying in hotels, if you want to meet people, you have to put some effort into it. Also, like day tours are a great place to meet travelers. Right now during COVID, I don't know, but day tours, you're doing the food tour, the
Hmm.
boat tour, the whatever. You're going to make friends. Usually, I just make women friends on those tours, but there's
That's
men
what I was
there.
gonna say. Ooh, that was my experience because I did a walking tour in Italy, and I was like, "Ain't nothing but women here," and the men that are here is coupled up.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
was like, okay,
yeah. That's a thing in Mexico too, right? There are men taller than me in Mexico, but they all are coupled up. There must be some sort of law.
where?
They can't walk out in Mexico.
Yeah, where are they?
They
That's
don't
taller
walk
than
out. They
you.
don't walk out of the house. They never they never walk out alone. They just they wait for their wife or their sister or their mother before they can even leave the house, and so you never get to meet them. If they're single, you'll never know. You'll never know because there's always a woman with him.
I didn't see any, and I have on like magnifying glasses, so I didn't. I didn't see any.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a girlfriend who came to Mexico and her Tinder was popping, right? So I think, and like actual invitations to meet up, actual invitations for dates, not just pen pals, like Australia.
Okay.
Australia is pen pal central, right? Yeah, I think so. I think there's no harm in saying I want to put some effort into it. I know that there's going to be some garbage, but I'm willing to
Hmm.
put a little time into sifting through the garbage for some dates. I think it's okay.
I'll try it. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a
Okay.
try. Pray about it, but I
Peer
give it a
pressure.
try.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Julie's talking safety. Julie says always meet up in a crowded place. Yes. Don't go home in a
Oh,
direction where they can follow you. Yes. Right.
yes,
So we are
yes.
women. We do still have to take precautions. So that is
Right,
the advice. That's the advice.
right.
That's right. That's the choice. Lisa, Mexico is hot, but it's not the same. Well, Mexico is hot, but there's a lot of Mexico that is high altitude. Mexico City,
Right.
Guadalajara, these are places that are higher altitude. San Miguel de Allende, which Veronica
Mm,
loves. Guanajuato, which I'm a fan of, and they're in the same state. These are higher altitude places, so it's not the same as the beaches,
mhm.
right? The beach areas are hot, but a lot of Mexico is more moderately.
When when Mexico was hot, when I was there, I left in like May, so that's when it was kind of getting hot.
Uh,
But there was no humidity to me.
yes. That's right. Yes.
Like it was, but it wasn't like that Florida humidity.
No, let me think about the different places. So I did go to when I went to La Paz. That's right. That's true because I spent some time in La Paz. But no, that was the winter time, so that might be why. We spent some time in La Paz, in the Baja California Sur, south of
Mhm.
California, and right, no humidity. But that wasn't that might have been because of the time of year. So that might be true. You have to y'all look that up and see if your concern is heat and humidity. Look it up and see how it measures, how it compares. All
'Cause
right.
it can be hot, but then you have the humidity, and then you have that thick, like that dryness. It
Hmm.
didn't have that to me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I even had to wear lotion, which is how I measure humidity. Because I'm not putting on lotion if I don't have to put it. But yeah, if I feel like if I go out and I come back and I'm like I should have worn lotion today, then I know not a lot of humidity right now.
Right.
Yes. All right. All right, Lisa, we're glad you're here. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Okay, I saw another super chat that I'm trying to acknowledge, but I lost it. I'm sorry. Priscilla, thank you very much for that super chat, Priscilla. We're glad that you're here, and we appreciate you. And again, super chat's going to Veronica today. I think I've
That's
acknowledged
my
your.
mother's.
Ah, one more. Beverly Briscoe Jobby. Thanks, Bev. Thanks, Beverly. All right. So yeah. Okay. So friends, I think we've all decided that we're going to give them a try. Give a dating app a try when we're traveling next time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Tinder Passport, I think it's called now. I think it used to be
Oh,
called Tinder
really?
Go. Tinder Passport. You can even Tinder in a place that you're going before you get there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Mm.
Uh huh.
All
So
right.
if you
Maybe
know,
it's okay. I'll give it a try.
yeah. So like you're in Albania now. Where do you know where you're going to
Mhm.
go next?
No, I think I'm going to sit here for like a couple months, and I may go. I'm going to go back west, but not to the states.
Okay.
So I may go back to Mexico, or I may go to Colombia.
Okay. Oh, great. Another place I haven't been. You're hitting all the places on my wish list. Yeah. So yeah. So if you're like, oh, I'll be in Colombia in a week. Let me get my Tinder ready, right? Let me get some dates lined up. You can do it.
Okay.
You can do it ahead of time.
Okay.
I think it's called Tinder Passport. I think back in the day in 2015 it was like Tinder Go, but now it's called Tinder Passport.
Oh,
It's a paid version of Tinder. But
okay. I'll
it could
take
be
y'all word for it and
yeah,
sign up.
it could be worth it. You can line up some dates ahead of time.
Yeah.
All right. I saw something that I wanted to read and then I lost it. I'm sorry. But it was a good question. I was like, oh, that's a good question. Then I went back to the old Tinder talk. But so let's talk about the change in plan,
Hmm.
the shift that you're looking into making from this being a sabbatical to this being a way of life for you.
Hmm.
What do you have something figured out? Do you need some figuring out help? Like what's next? How are you going to make that transition to I ain't never coming back to work. I'm not going back to this.
So, like, really, really simple. I'm looking at different, like Indeed.com, like different job sites to kind of see what catches my eye, like what job, what description, or whatever catches my eye, and I'm just going to apply and pray and hope for the best. So
Okay.
technically, that's what I'm doing.
Still in social work?
No, kind of looking like the public administration field, kind of
Okay.
seeing business field, kind of seeing what if I can put my MPA degree to use finally, hopefully, to
Great.
kind of see what I can do. But it definitely has to be fully remote. That's not an
Yes.
option.
Yes. All right. So Libria Jones is the remote work queen. Okay. Libria Jones is on Instagram. I'm gonna have to type it in again, y'all, and it's gonna I don't know what's going to happen. But Libria Jones, so she did a session for Rashida and I ran some workshops, and Libria did one of our workshops on finding remote work. There are specific sites that people list fully remote jobs on, including
Okay.
remote.co. And Libria is a person who helps people search. She does live streams and stuff to help people who need remote work find remote work. In fact, she ran a virtual summit just last month called Quit Commuting. So it looks like she's just at Libria Jones on Instagram. At
Well, I need to follow her.
LIBRIAJONES. Libria Jones. Okay, so she was a speaker at Exodus Summit last year, and
Okay.
she She was a speaker at our summit, and then she ran a workshop called Finding Remote Jobs, specifically on this, on I have a skill set and I want a job in this using the
Hmm.
skill set I already have that is fully
Hmm.
remote. She ran a workshop. That workshop is included when you upgrade to the accelerated program for Exodus Homecoming this year. So if you register for Exodus
Okay.
Homecoming, you get access to that workshop included, either the
Hmm.
Finding Remote Jobs workshop or the Opportunities in Ghana workshop, which was two separate workshops. All right, so not just you, Veronica, but anybody, yes. And then Anissa, I've heard the same thing. Okay, anybody, and Libria has a remote ready bundle. That is, I've heard that this is a good bundle. Y'all know I don't want no job, so I don't. I have not even looked at the bundle. I don't know what's in that bundle. I don't know. But I have heard that this is what you need if you are ready to take your not I need to learn a new skill set first, and then if you are ready to take your job remote, right? You take your skill set remote and look and get a job. This is what you'll need. Okay, so Libria is the plug for this. So Veronica, there's
Thanks for that.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm
Because
gonna
I
do
need
what I
it.
can to keep you on the road, girl. I'm gonna do what I can.
Listen, if I have to get out there and be like, when my son will work for a place to stay, whatever it takes.
Yes, I'm gonna do what we're gonna do what we can to make this happen. Okay, we
Yeah,
do what we can to make sure you don't
one
have to
way or
come back
another.
and sign another contract. We're not signing no more contracts in the U.S. We don't work in the U.S. anymore.
No, no, we're not doing that. I'm allergic to it. No.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's a great option for you. Do you feel
Hmm.
like you are? So this is you're just getting ready to start the job search. Have you already started the job search or?
Well, I'm just kind of like like just going through looking. So I've started the job search. I'm just kind of like in the beginning stages of it. I'm
Okay.
just kind of seeing what catches my eye because my whole background is social work. And
Yes.
if I can find something within that field, but not necessarily what I was doing before,
Uh-huh.
like supervising and this so intense,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
you know. So if I can find something maybe in that field that catches my eye, then yeah.
Okay, good. Do you think right, Veronica, like 3 years ago, could you imagine that person saying, listen, I want to work, but I don't want intense work. Is this a new shift for you? Were you feeling that even back then? Were you on the, like, I got to achieve more, more, more. I'm striving, striving, striving. Or have you always been like, I'm going to do it as chill as possible?
I felt strive like 10 years ago, but 3 years ago, yeah, I was ready to say, throw all the papers up in the air and say, I
Okay.
quit.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was definitely burnt out then.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's so you're right now. Are you not feeling any conflict about this? Are you all in?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
no,
Good.
no.
Yeah,
Just prayer and work.
you
Figure
sound
it
like
out.
it. You sound like it. Sometimes this is a hard switch to flip for women, right?
Hmm.
It's hard to say, "Oh, I'm now on team uh do less." But
Yeah, no, my switch flipped
once you do
already.
it, okay, good. All right, good. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me
Okay.
too. I'm nervous, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited. I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited for this change.
Great. Yeah, yeah, it's okay to be nervous. That's fine. That's normal. Okay, so I've linked to Veronica's Instagram a couple of times. You can follow her on Instagram. She just unprivated it for us. So if you're watching the replay, it may be back on private. I'm sorry.
No,
But
it's not. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. But you know what? You know what? What I wanted to talk about. I think he was kind of interested in Croatia.
Mhm. Let's hear it.
You want to talk?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I went to Croatia in July. I think it was. Yeah, July, and I stayed 2, 3 weeks. No, 3 weeks. I went to Dubrovnik. No,
Yeah.
was that about 3 weeks? Almost a month. I went to Dubrovnik, and then I went north to the capital, which is Zagreb, and I also visit Korčula Island.
Okay.
To everybody that's listening, it is a must that you add Croatia to your list. It is an absolute must because it's such a beautiful country, and the food. ranks right there with Turkey.
Good to
It
know.
ranks right, like Turkey and Croatia is like, they're fighting for the number one spot. It's such a beautiful country. The people were great. They have Uber there.
Hmm.
When it comes to the taxis, like at certain spots where tourists are known to be, there's a sign, up saying if you're going here, 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 this is how much the taxi. If you're going to get a taxi, this is how much it's going to cost, right? So so you don't have to fight and argue with like a taxi driver because you already know what that cost is going to be to go wherever, and they have like a list of hotels, so so that was one of, if I had to choose one of the countries that I had the best time in within these 9 months, it would be Croatia. What country would I see myself if I can go back and live
Yes.
for a short period of time? It would be Croatia.
Good.
It
Good. So
would be.
this on my list. Some we've got mixed. We've got some people saying they've heard good things. We've got some people saying I would have known about Croatia. I'm hip to Croatia because I'm a house sitter and I've house sat for people who are going to Croatia. Europeans love Croatia. Croatia is to
It
Europe
is beautiful.
what maybe like some Caribbean islands are to us, right? We're like, oh my gosh, I got to get to, I don't know.
Jamaica, Aruba,
Yes,
or something.
yes.
Belize,
They
something
like, I
like
got
that.
to get to Croatia, so I'm hip to it because of them. Yes,
Hmm.
is it beautiful? Also, still, even though it's their vacation spot, is still low cost of living, very inexpensive. Would you agree with that? I think that's what I heard.
Well, the places I choose the wrong time to go to certain places because I went at the peak. So if you're going somewhere May, June, July, and August,
Yes, that's right.
it's gonna be high.
That's
But if you're not going through those peak times, then yeah, it's gonna be affordable. So don't go during the summer, the summer peak time where everybody is coming and bopping around because they're gonna up the price. But if you're gonna go before or after them, it's definitely worth it. I have a friend that's in Split, and I just look at her pictures and just be like, oh, Jesus, just so gorgeous. So I never been somewhere where it's like everywhere you turn is just beautiful, beautiful.
I think of it as a low cost Italy. Now, I've never even been to Italy, but you know how you see
Yes,
like the
I would
amount.
say
Oh,
that. I would
oh,
say that. Yes,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's been on my list. I got to get there. It looks like you know how you see like the Amalfi Coast, and you see you're like Croatia.
Yes, that's what it reminds me of. Right,
All right.
right.
Okay, so we're putting it on our list. Y'all know
Yes, definitely.
we're hanging out in Turkey anyway, and it's easy to get from one to the other.
Right,
So I think maybe
right.
next year we'll after we hang out. So in Turkey, we're doing a meetup April Easter weekend. We're going to
Okay,
Antalya, Turkey. You
okay.
all are everybody. We're just gonna meet there. Okay, and it's nothing happening. We meet. Okay, it's just a meetup.
Okay.
But maybe some people will get to bop to Croatia in that during that
Yeah.
time too. Yeah,
And if you go to like certain parts, like I was in Dubrovnik, there's a ferry that can take you to any island you want. So it's cost effective.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm sold. You ain't got to sell me, Veronica. I'm going. I'm going. Mimi says she loved Split. Split is on the
Yes.
water,
Yes.
right? Split is a beach town, I think,
Yeah.
on the water.
Yeah.
That's the place I think that you see where you're like, this looks like the coast of Italy or whatever
Right.
the eastern side of Italy too. I can't remember what that region is called. It looks, because they're best. It's just across the water from Italy. It's this,
Right. Right.
yeah. It
Right.
looks exactly like that eastern coast of Italy. All right.
Right.
All right, so hopefully we're about to fly. We are. We
We're about to look.
we all gonna be
Planets.
there.
Planets. Because
Okay.
that wasn't even on my radar. And then when I left Turkey, I was like, okay, well, what country can I get into? And I was like, Croatia. I was like, I don't know. And when I got there, I'm just mind blown.
Mhm.
Totally not what I expected.
All
I
right.
didn't even know what to expect, but I didn't
Yeah.
expect
So
that.
you went there with no, like, I want to go there
Plan.
because I've heard so much about it and I've looked it up and I've done all the Googles. You
I
went
did none
there
of that.
just like,
It's open. It's open.
good, Good. Yeah, just explore. You never know what you're gonna find, what you're gonna bump into when you're just like, oh,
Right.
let's see what happens. Because that's the freedom of being a traveler like this. If you get
Right.
someplace you don't
And a
like,
slow traveler.
you can leave. If you get someplace you don't like it, you can leave. If you do like it, you can figure out how to stay longer if they let you.
Right.
If you find
Right.
follow the rules.
Right. Right.
All right. So you're a black woman. How did they treat you in Croatia?
I didn't have no issues. Like nothing. I would go to a restaurant. I didn't have to wait extra longer than anybody else. I would go to the grocery store. Nobody's like on my heels. Do you need help or any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could get a cab, no issues. So I didn't have any issues
there
regarding me being a black woman.
there are countries out there where people just mind their business, right?
And they do mind their business. I mean, you probably look like, because it was so obvious where I was, I didn't see no black people. Unless I go to an actual tourist spot, I saw
Yes.
black people. But where I was staying, and I always make an effort to kind of stay, even if it's a hotel, that's more so in the like community area. Because that way you can get a better feel opposed to always staying in a tourist area.
Yeah. Yeah, it is there's a different feeling. Sometimes you feel sometimes I feel a little nervous when I'm staying in a place outside of the tourist area until I get there and I'm like, "Oh yeah, these are just normal
Yeah.
people living their daily lives.
Right.
This
Right.
is
Like, oh, I
nothing
can
to
do
be
that.
afraid of."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Mimi says the same thing. They mind their business. That's a lot of places where you go as a black woman. We are used to having to be protected, right? We're used to
Hmm.
having to have our guard up, be prepared at any moment for things to go left, right? We have to be
Hmm.
prepared because who knows who's going to come out and say what and do whatever. But there are places
Right.
where people are just living their lives. They don't care about you and
With
what
the
you're
business
doing.
that pays them.
Yes. That's right. And well, that's what I've heard about that entire region. You're in Albania
Hmm.
right now. I've
Hmm.
heard that about, same with Albania and Georgia, the nation of Georgia as well. I
Mm.
know black people who love the Republic of Georgia because of
I've
that.
heard positive things. I heard a few in, but majority was positive.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good. Do you have any plans to head to Georgia? I'm trying to picture Albania because I didn't look it up, but I think y'all are neighbors. You and
Albania
Georgia.
is like, let me see. Let me look at
Well,
my
let me see. I could
map.
look it up. I'll look for it. But I think you're all grouped together, right? Croatia and then
Right.
yeah.
Let me see. So
We all looking
Albania
it up.
is right. It's like Montenegro, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Albania. It's no
Oh,
well, Montenegro, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Greece
okay.
is covering Albania because
Okay.
Albania is like right across the street from Italy.
From Italy. Okay.
Like you
You're a
can
little
catch a ferry to Italy if you go south of Albania. If you go to Saranda, you can catch a 2 hour, 1 hour ferry and go to Italy.
good. All right. Yeah, you're a little even further south than I thought you were, but you're still not too far from Croatia. Okay, good. All right.
Hmm.
Then we said I asked you if you were going to
I think you said Macedonia,
where
Montenegro,
Georgia. Oh, Georgia, and I don't even know where
Georgia.
Georgia
Yeah,
is not
sorry.
there. Georgia is east. Georgia is
Yeah, Georgia's further away.
inland. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So you've romped around the region.
Hmm.
Can we let's talk a tiny bit about COVID? So you mentioned that you went to Croatia because Croatia is open. My dad's out here disturbing the peace. So I'm gonna ask you a question and then I'm gonna disappear from the camera for just a second so I can close the window. I'll be right back. Okay. So you went to Croatia. I mean, you've been bopping around. You said you went to Croatia because it's open. How difficult has it been to take this awesome sabbatical journey during a pandemic, during the time of lockdowns and restrictions and COVID tests?
Okay, so in Mexico, there weren't any restrictions. You could just go anywhere you want, any tourist spot, any museum, whatever activities that you want to do, I was able to do. But in order to get into Mexico, I did have to take a PCR test or an antigen test. But I took a PCR, and of course, you have to be negative. When it comes to Italy, before the current changes were made, all I had to do was take a test, but right when I got there, like the next day that I got there, that's when they implemented the what is it, the rule where you have to have a vaccination or a PCR test that, at least 20 24 48 hours before you're able to go into a museum or whatever inside activity that you wanted to do. So they changed that rule the day that I got there,
Oh,
and
okay.
I wasn't going to get tested every day just just to do something. Like, I wasn't doing that, so I was able to still enjoy myself and do a few things, but not like everything that I wanted to do. When it comes to Croatia, they didn't implement any rule at that time. So all I needed was a negative PCR test in order to get into the country. I was able to do everything and anything because you didn't need a green card. Is it a green card? What is it called?
The vaccine card or the
Yeah,
resident?
like the vaccine card. Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
didn't need that in order to do any activities. So it really, really started when I went to Italy. But the other countries, I didn't need anything.
Oh,
Albania, I only needed the PCR test. I think they did make changes, but I didn't read up on it.
okay.
But I was able to do. I've done so much since I've been here
Yeah.
that,
And
if you make changes, I already seen everything.
yeah.
I've
Good.
already done it.
Are they putting an app? Are you having to download an app on your phone when you get to these places so that they can track you? I had that some one place where when I got there, I think it might have been La Paz or somewhere. They made me download an app at the airport and they tracked
Really?
every place. In case eventually I did come up positive for COVID, they could track every place that I've been. Have you had that yet? Nobody?
No.
Okay.
No, they just, when you take your test, the lab just email you, and you know, make it bigger, and they just scan it, and that's it.
Okay. And then any place, have you gone any place where they require a quarantine when you first land?
Oh,
No. Okay.
no,
Some places do. Ireland in last year, this time last year in Ireland,
no.
Americans could still go, but we had to
Uh,
stay quarantined, like Hawaii once said,
uh-huh.
had to stay quarantined for X number of days before you could go out and do things. I
Oh
kind
no,
of
I
agree
wasn't
anyway.
choosing. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Every
Just wanted.
place they only thing they I was looking for is where I can go where I can only get a PCR test. No quarantine. Like, that was off the table.
Okay. I've done it because I'm a hermit. So I'm like, I don't even notice a quarantine if they let you quarantine in your place, right? In your, like in
Hmm.
my house sit or in my Airbnb.
Hmm.
Like I'm basically quarantined anyway. I'm getting my
Now,
groceries.
I thought about doing it because in the beginning, beginning of my whole travel, once I left Mexico, I had my heart set on going to Asia. So I knew that Thailand was open, but you had to quarantine. So that was on the table.
Okay.
That was on the table because that was one of the countries that was high on my list, like top five. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why that was on the table. But then I thought about it. I was like, meh, no, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't know when we're going to be like able to go to Asia and actually enjoy things. I don't know how long that's going to be,
Oh.
unfortunately. I don't know. Okay, so I saw.
Hopefully by next year.
I hope, Lord, I hope so. Please, please,
Please.
please.
Please, come on.
So, so Joanna has a question about needing a visa to enter these countries, and I saw a question way. That's the question I forgot. Remember, I said it was a good question and I forgot it. I
Hmm.
lost it. I'm sorry, but someone else asked a question about Mexico. Let's see, visa. Let's see if I can find your question. I'm sorry, I can't find it. But yes, okay. So let's talk about the tourist visa situation. I assume, not assume. You have the U.S. passport. Is that right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So U.S. passport.
So, so in Mexico, as Americans, we get 6 months visa free.
Mhm.
So we get to visit there 6 months without a visa. Croatia, as Americans, we get 90 days. So I didn't need a visa, unless you're going to stay over the
Yes.
90 day. And then, of course, you need a visa. In Albania, as Americans, U.S. citizens, we get a year visa free. So you don't need a visa here. And Italy, we get 90 days as an American. Unless you're going to stay over, then of course you have to apply for a visa. So I was able to go into each country without a visa.
Without a visa. That's right.
And that was priority on my list of choosing places. No quarantine and no visas.
That's right, because the visa situation is scary, especially during these times when a lot of things are closed. Having to send in your passport somewhere and try to wait for a visa to get someplace is really scary to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I did forget. I did need a visa for Turkey. You do
Okay.
need a visa for Turkey, as yeah, you need a visa, but I think it was about 50-ish. Oh, that's a story. Oh my God.
All right, let's hear it. So, but first
Oh,
tell us,
God.
did you have to send off your passport or you just went into the consulate or the embassy to get your visa or the
I
consulate?
applied online. You apply online, you pay, and you get it like that.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's hear your story.
So I got to, oh God, I forgot the date. Let's just pick a date. So I got to Turkey, Istanbul, and I was supposed to put, let's say, August 3rd, but I put, when I applied for it, I put June 3rd. So the man was like, "Oh, we can't let you in," and I was like, "Why?" And at this, like, my flight was 14 hours, so I was like tired, right? So I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" And then he was like, "Oh, you picked the wrong date," and I was like, "Oh," because at first he took, like, it seemed like forever to tell me why. So that was about 50-ish dollars. My battery's getting low. There's about 50-ish dollars, and then luckily there is a place in the Istanbul airport
Okay.
that you can go to if there's some sort of discrepancy, but you have to buy a whole new one over.
Oh, okay. No fixing
Yeah,
it.
so
Just
that's the great thing. Yeah, so I just
okay.
had to buy a whole new one, and I think that one was about 30-ish dollars.
Okay. So don't forget that we're talking. You get access to a Getting Residency Abroad workshop if you apply. Not if you apply. If you buy if you register for Exodus Homecoming 2021 and you upgrade to that accelerated program, you get a Getting Residency Abroad workshop for either France, Portugal, or Mexico. I see a question about an attorney from Mexico. Rashida and her mother just got residency in Mexico without using an attorney, right? They were
Oh,
in the
so she,
workshop.
yay.
Yeah, Rashida's got residency, and then her mom went through the process and got approved for
Hmm.
residency too. I think I don't know if I was supposed to announce her mom got residency, but y'all know I don't keep secrets, so that's it. She's now a resident of Mexico. Hey, Ms.
Let
Dowse,
me
here.
let me run and get my cord to
Okay,
plug up my
okay,
computer because it's about to turn off.
okay. All right. Yeah, so come to the workshops. If you have questions, let's see, let's do that. Bloop. If you have questions about getting residency in one of those countries, France, Mexico, or Portugal, upgrade to the accelerated program, come to the group coaching, watch those sessions as well, which are pre-recorded, and get your questions answered. France is very open to the student visa. If you want to go to France right now and the lockdown or the restrictions says tourists can't come into France, don't lose heart because France is letting people in on the student visa. And student visa in France means like I'm studying French. I'm in a French language class that is more than 90 days long. You can get a student visa to France or you cooking school. Ms. Not Ms. Delights by Dawn went to France to learn baking for I think her program was more than 90 days and she got a student visa. We talked about that in the Getting Residency Abroad workshop. So don't lose heart if there are places that you think you can't get into because of lockdown or because of the pandemic. Some places are
Hmm.
letting people in on a visa when they're not letting you in as a tourist. Okay. If we're traveling responsibly, if we're being responsible people, which I hope I don't have to say, right? We're following the rules, we're doing all of the things, and we're not going to need to be hospitalized. I wouldn't go someplace if you think your chances of having to be hospitalized when you get sick are high because all hospitals are taxed. Not, by tax, I mean all hospitals are overcrowded. They're stressed out. Okay. So I wouldn't go someplace if you feel like, oh, there's a chance I'm going to need to be hospitalized. But I guess,
Oh
let's see.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really, really scary proposition. Some places are making you pay ahead of time. When you in Mexico, if you need to be, or at least when I was there in La Paz, if you needed to be hospitalized, you had to pay $5,000. I want to say it was more than $5,000 cash. Pay them, not like I have insurance, but like pay us to get a bed in this hospital before we will treat you. And Ms. Dow, hello, good morning. Yes, all right. She's a permanent. A lot of changes for Rashida's mom. resident of
Oh,
Mexico
that's
now, and she's house sitting. She's on her, I think this is your very first house sit. Lots of changes for her since Exodus Homecoming last year as well. Since Exodus Summit last year as well. Yeah.
congrats, Miss Dow.
Yes. All right. So what do y'all feel like we didn't cover? Thank you for stopping me to talk specifically about your love for Croatia. Thank you for spreading the word.
Oh yeah, I had to. I'm trying to figure out how can I actually stay if I can next year.
Good.
Stay for a little bit
They have
longer
they
because
have a digital nomad visa, I
right,
believe,
they do.
which is
Yeah,
a
they do.
year or two, might be 2 years of residency there.
Yeah, I think it's a year, but you can also reapply for another year.
Okay.
But with that one, you have to have about almost $3,000 income coming in.
Uh-huh.
So once I meet that goal,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I'm good.
Good. Yeah, yeah. These are some countries that are pretty they are ahead of the game, or not ahead of the game. They are involved in the digital nomad thing.
Business.
They're aware that digital nomads exist, right? They are
Right.
aware that there are people who can work from anywhere and would love to work from their beautiful country. Um, Croatia and I think Albania and Georgia,
Hmm.
the nation of Georgia.
Hmm.
These places have specific visas for us, for people who want to bop around, don't want to apply, don't want to become permanent residents, not necessarily or not yet,
Right.
but want the easiest path to be able to stay there, but for much longer than the tourist visa will allow. I think Costa Rica also has a new program. There are quite a
Hmm.
few out there. So
Right.
it's a new world. If you're like Veronica and you're about to get yourself a remote job and be wherever you want to be,
Right.
this is a time when it's a great time to be a traveler, it's a great time.
Right.
Not pandemic time. I just mean internet. Because of the internet. I'm older than the internet. So to me, I'm like, this internet thing is amazing. this, this being able to work online is amazing. I can be wherever, and my client can be wherever, and I can do
Hmm.
work, and they can pay me in US dollars, and
Hmm.
I can pay my rent in Albanian whatever they spend.
Leak.
Yes.
Leak.
And reasonable. It's not New York City prices. It's not Florida
Yeah.
prices. Yeah, it's a good time to be
Yeah.
a traveler. We just need the pandemic to go away.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we do. That's the only thing that's kind of like stopping a lot of things.
Yes, yes, it is a hater. Just well, I don't want to
Mhm.
make fun of it. I don't want to make fun of it because it's been terrible. But we've had
Yeah.
enough. I feel like we've had enough. We've had enough.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Cutie Pie says 2020 travel is about to be lit. Okay. Let's see where we're going. Okay. All right. Let's see. I see currency exchanges. Okay. So I don't know if there was an original question. I would say don't ever exchange currency. You're never going to get the good deal. Just pull the
Right.
currency out of the ATM, right? Just go to the
That's
ATM,
what I do.
stick
Yeah.
in your ATM card and get leet or get
Leak.
pesos or
Right.
get euros or whatever. We don't.
And you're gonna, depending on how long you're gonna stay, you're gonna need to go to the ATM anyway. If you're
Yeah.
gonna stay for a week, then okay. But if
Yeah.
you're staying for weeks and months, you might as well just don't even waste your time. Just get it at the ATM.
Yeah, don't waste your time exchanging currency and don't waste your money exchanging currency. Go to the ATM. Make sure that your bank is not charging you a foreign transaction fee. If you bank with
Right.
Bank of America, they definitely are. Okay. Bank of
Right.
America, probably Wells Fargo, the greedy banks, right? I bank with
Right.
USAA. They don't charge me a foreign transaction fee. Charles Schwab,
I,
Chime,
I got Charles Schwab.
good.
Charles,
Those,
yeah,
those
got
are
that.
banks that they will not charge you the foreign transaction fee. Do it that way as opposed to converting currency and losing money. Yes, all summit sessions, CJHRLH07. Yes, all summit sessions are recorded. You're getting, when you register, you're getting access to those sessions. For my business partner, Rashida Dow, is an attorney, and she will not allow me to say lifetime access. Access. She won't. Every time she's like, who's lifetime? I'm like, I don't, Rashida, it's just lifetime access. She's like, no, words have meanings, and every word means something. This is the contract that we're making with our clients. I'm like, okay. So we're going to say a year, because a year is enough time for you to get your plan in place. Okay. So we're saying a
Right.
year, but if you pop up and look on the thing in 2 years, it'll probably still be there, because who's going to take it down? I'm not going to take the time to take it down. But so access, yes, you're getting access to the recordings for this year, if you register for this year. And then for a little while, and I think we said for 2 weeks, you're getting access to the recordings from last year as well. So yes, so if the weekend of September 24th through 26th is busy for you, but you want to make sure that you get this good info, still register. You're going to be sent you're going to have access to all of the replays, okay? All right. Okay. Okay. Friends, okay, so mostly I asked the questions that I had about places, but I'm gonna scroll through really quickly and see
I can
what
add
I
a few
missed.
things.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear it.
So one of the things that helped me is I not only had bank with Charles Schwab, but I also have my Visa Sapphire card. So you get points. There's a point system with that, and with the point system, you can turn it into cash, right? So every time you swipe your card, you can get double or triple points, and that converts to cash. So what I do is a part of my plan when I decided that I was going to go on this sabbatical. Every time I swipe my card, I just let the points build and build and build and build. So that was another way for me to, for lack of a better term, make money to
Yeah.
save for my sabbatical. So if you guys are thinking about this and any one of you have a card that have a point system like the Visa Sapphire, don't um like every month you can take you I forgot what is it called. You can kind of
Like
convert the
cash
points to
them out.
money
Mm-hmm.
and you can take it. Don't take it. Let it sit and let it build. Every time you go to the gas station, swipe. Grocery store, swipe. Pay electricity bill, swipe, 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 swipe. Pay it on time for your credit,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But don't take that money. Let it build.
that's good info. I am the worst card points person I have in my entire life. Bought one airline ticket on points, and it was just to Mexico, right? Just to Guadalajara, right?
Mhm.
So that's good info that we have not talked enough about here on this channel. Thank you very much.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
and you're saying Chase Sapphire is a very popular card for travel because of their
That yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a card that travelers love. It's a card I don't have, but it's a card that travelers love.
Right. And I also have a American Express Delta card, and all of my points is on there for playing. So the Sapphire card is what I use for like hotels, Airbnb,
Uh-huh.
everyday use. And when I fly, I use my Delta card, my
Uh,
American Express Delta Sky Miles. Sorry, Sky Miles
Sky
card.
Miles. Yeah.
So the amount of points I have right now, if let's say if Vietnam was open, I can go without paying a dime and
Ah,
just use my miles.
okay. Wonderful. All right. Well
That's
done.
the
Well,
tip.
well done. Okay, I see another super chat popping up here.
Stay
Yeah,
with
we
points.
haven't talked about points because I am a points like idiot. I don't usually call myself names, but I don't there's no better way to describe me. I'm not doing it right. Hi,
I'm
thank
a
you very
pro.
much. Yes, I see. I see. Thank you, Lynette Laney, for that super chat. We appreciate you. I think I missed a couple of Oh, I missed more than a couple. Gosh. Hi guys. Hey everybody. Desiree, thank you very much for that super chat. Hello. Gina W. Thank you very much for this super chat. Gina says, new to the channel, loving every minute. Thank you. We're so glad that you're here and welcome. Welcome, Gina.
Mm.
All right. And then I
if
think,
if I can tell a story,
let's
if
hear
that's
it.
okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I'll be really quick with it. So I set out on this journey, right? And sometimes when you set out to do something, unexpected things happen,
That's right.
right? Whether it be financial, physical, mental, whatever.
Yes.
So, quick story: when I was in San Miguel de Allende, I had went hiking.
Yeah.
In the process of hiking, my back started hurting me, so I decided to go back to the hotel. But the time in which I left hiking, I was actually done, but the time in which I was finished and went back to the hotel, my back started getting progressively worse to the point where for 3 days straight, I was unable to walk. I was really bedridden. I could not get out of bed, right? So at that moment, I didn't know what was going on. So I just, laid in bed and kind of do whatever physical exercises I could in order to gain my strength back.
Yeah.
Because I had no choice. I was either going to sit there and just wallow in my sorrow or figure it out, right? So long story short, I was able to gain some sort of strength. I went to the hospital and I found out that I had chronic sciatica.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, I had two choices. Do I leave? Do I just give up my whole plan of
Yeah.
being, traveling the world? Or do I just talk to the doctors, the professionals to kind of figure out what can I do to continue on this journey? Exercise? Okay, I got it. Eat right? Okay, done. What else do I need to do? And those were the only two things that I needed to do.
Okay.
And from January to now, I had lost 50 pounds.
Oh, did you?
Hmm.
Wow. So let's talk about this. You said, you had to make the choice about whether or not to go back.
Right.
What, because some people would have just been like, well, cash it in. It was your first country, right? Your
Right.
first country
Right.
on your, but this is the first, did you say, you didn't say the first month of your sabbatical, but very early.
Yeah, it was the first month. It
First
was
month.
January 26th or 7th.
So why, I'm so glad that you found a way to keep going. What was that? Why not just say, oh, well, it's not meant for me, right? Oh, well, throw in the towel. I'm done. This for other people. It's
Because
not.
because I prayed about it, right? Because sometimes we're conditioned to believe that every situation is meant, okay, so that happens. So that means that, you know, this isn't meant to be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it was like, do I think that way or do I think another way? Or do I think differently that this is a situation that happened to me to better me?
Yes.
So it's all about perspective.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not a quitter. So I was like, I'm not giving up. Tell me, orthopedic doctor, sir, what do I need to do in order to stay here? Because he was like, oh, you might need surgery. Sir, we're not doing that. That's off the table.
Okay.
So I just did what I had to do in order to keep it. And the reason why I brought that up, because sometimes, we think that way. If something happens, oh, that means for us to give up. Not all the time and not necessarily. It could mean that it happened to you for you to better you.
Yes.
And it could be a test because, and as well as a lot of you that's watching, that to quit your job, to sell your everything out of your home, to travel the world, that's not an easy thing to do. So for me, I honestly saw it as a test. Are you strong enough to do this?
Okay.
So,
Let's talk about the logistics of going to the doctor, though. So you can't walk.
mhm,
You're alone in Mexico.
mhm.
How did you get to the doctor? Like, how did you know where to go, and how did you actually like get there?
So I Googled, I Googled, and I think at this point, I'm not sure, but I think at this point I did reach out to Rashida,
Mm.
for kind of like some sort of guidance, because I knew that at that point she was like the Mexico guru, one of the Mexico gurus, because Adele is the number one. So I believe I reached out to her, some sort of guidance. But I also Googled, like, okay, so what is the nearest hospital? What's the best hospital? And kind of reading like reviews. And then I had called an Uber, and one of the people at the hotel kind of like assisted me, because even though I was able to walk, I wasn't able to walk without assistance.
Okay.
Because when I got to the hospital, I had to be wheeled in because I physically couldn't do it.
Yes. So get people to advocate for you. It's a little easier
Right.
in a lot of places,
And they spoke literally no English.
uh,
But it was just like arm movements, pointing, hurt, just facial expression. I was just like doing whatever I had to do. But they were so that hotel was so beautiful, and they were so nice because I was able, it was huge. So I was able to kind of like make a own path of my way when I was trying to get better. Because even after going to the hospital, I had to stay there for a few days before going back
did
to
you?
Mexico City to see a chiropractor.
Okay. How much
Yeah.
do you have an idea what it cost you?
Oh, so at the hospital, I was there 4 hours or so, and they gave me. So I had an X-ray. Of
Mhm.
course, I had a bed to, sit in, to lie in. They gave me, I forgot the type of pain medicine that they had to give me, but they gave me like a bag and a half or almost two bags. And they was like, we can't give you any more. But that ended up being 232 ish dollars. And then I had to buy the medicine, which ended up being about 30-ish dollars. So altogether, that whole ordeal was about 260-ish,
Yeah, you're not going
which is
to,
unheard of in the States.
yeah, you're not going to a hospital in the US getting an x-ray on your back and some
No,
pain meds for no 200 and some dollars. No,
right,
not gonna
never.
happen.
Just to walk in costs $1,000.
That's right. That's right. So when I said, I do want to backtrack because when I said earlier I wouldn't go to a place if I know I'm going to have to be hospitalized there, I'm just talking about the COVID bed situation, right? That there are no
Yeah,
beds in some places. But, right, the healthcare in these other places you're going to get good healthcare on pennies
right,
on the dollar compared to the US. Right. So that's,
right.
I'm just talking about, do they have beds available? Will they let me in if I need to be hospitalized? I'm not talking about the care that you're going to get or the price. Actually, if you want to be hospitalized somewhere, like some of these places are probably the best choice. Poland is my choice for medical treatment. I can't wait to go to Poland and get everything done. I'm gonna
Oh
get
wow.
it. I'm gonna get it
And
all.
for those who may be wondering, I had to see a chiropractor, and I was seeing two. Initially, I saw one, but that one was about $30 a week. I mean, $30 a
A
session.
session. Uh huh.
And I went to another one that's French native, and that was $40 a session. So it's very affordable, and they also give you a plan. If you're doing 10 sessions, they'll take like $10 or so off. So it's very affordable for me to get the help that I needed
Great.
while in Mexico City.
Yes. Great. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. People, medical tourism to Mexico is a thing. There are people who go to Mexico to do some medical stuff and
Hmm.
tourist stuff combined. That's on purpose. It's because in Mexico you're getting good health care at a fraction of the price. So good.
Yeah.
So now how has it been traveling now that you have this back situation?
It's
Has
been challenging, and that's why I can't like really do hostels. I have to do what's comfortable for me.
yeah.
Now I'm better than where I was, but like on an average day, I can stay out like consecutively for like 5 hours or so.
Okay.
That's the longest I can stay out, and then I come back and do my yoga, sit, relax my back for like 3 hours, and then I'll go back out. So
Okay.
that's the thing. I have to adjust how long I can stay out.
Okay. All right. Are you still seeing a chiropractor as you go? Are you seeing local chiropractors?
No, but I that's on my list. That's why I'm just gonna kind of because I've been looking for one here and I haven't had any luck. So that's why I'm probably gonna stay here probably like another month or so and then head back west.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
can be better for next year. Hopefully Asia opens.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll get your back together.
Right.
One massage and you'll be all brand new. Lynette says, do you have any advice on foods that you or have switched to or removed from your diet to avoid
So
decreased pain?
right. So the inflammation is what is the biggest issue in my lower back, like my fourth and fifth lumbar. That's where I had like a herniated disc. But also that's what the doctor told me. But I have to be mindful of how much my sugar intake and carb intake. If
Well,
those two things, huh?
the good stuff.
Right, pasta, ice cream. You know I love ice cream. Come on, and a Twix or two. But those are the two things. And I have been slacking a little bit, but those are the two things. If you minimize those, it'll keep the inflammation under control.
Good.
And I
Good.
do ice packs and things like that. So to help it out, to help.
Okay, good. I'm glad that it is not preventing you from enjoying your sabbatical. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let me look for your question. I'm looking at y'all's questions now. When I leave the United States immediately, I shrink. I don't necessarily lose weight, but I do
Hmm.
shrink. My body shrinks. There's a lot of inflammation that's happening. I think just because of my diet in the U.S.
Hmm.
Even though I eat the same way when I go other places, the food is different. You know what I mean?
Right. I always lose weight every time. Even in 2019 when I went to Japan and stuff, I lost like 10 pounds. I came back 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah, there's is that is a real benefit of leaving the country as well.
Right.
The food is real food. I don't know what's going on here, but the food,
Right.
and I do notice, I don't know if it's technically I guess it is inflammation or swelling or something that happens
Right.
that I have here in the US, and when I go abroad I don't, and I shrink in, you know. Yeah, so
Right.
I've noticed that as well without putting any effort into it. Yeah.
Right.
Angela, it's hard, girl. Angela says once you break the sugar addiction, you don't miss it as much as you will think. I need help.
I need help.
I need
Can you refer me to a therapist?
help. We need a sugar
A
doctor.
sugar therapist? Because I need help. Your girl is struggling, especially with these Albanian snacks. Oh my God.
Oh,
Listen,
what kind of snacks do they eat? What are they, do they bake?
it's this brand called Milka, Milka, and it's just like every type of chocolate or sugary item you could think of, and it's just all so good. It's just so good. And I keep buying it. So your girl need help.
Lisa, things go left is an expression. It just means if things go bad, right?
Right.
I think we're going in this direction, and then all of a sudden things went left. It's just an expression. I don't know where you live or where you're from, but that's what I meant by left. I wasn't talking about conservative versus liberal. I'm talking just we were going in this direction, everything was moving, and then things went left. I was talking to my neighbor and I thought that she was a normal person, and then all of a sudden she started talking some stuff. Right? Things went left. That's all. It's just an expression.
Can you see me, Stephanie? Because the
It's
sun is
getting
going
super
down. It's
dark.
getting darker.
It's
Yeah.
nighttime for you. Yeah, because it's nighttime.
Let me
We'll
turn
wrap
on
it
the
up.
light. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, we'll wrap it up. Because it's been 2 hours, child. I thought every time I'm like, this is gonna be shorter because, and every time it's not.
I think
I'm
this
like,
is
this is gonna be
better.
shorter because I have to meet with Rashida. Rashida, my business partner, is making me meet all the time, y'all. She's working me. This summit, please register for this summit because she is making me do so much work. Don't let this labor be in vain. All right, please don't let it be in vain. So I was like, we're gonna wrap it up a little earlier so that we can go. And then we start talking about all the good things, all of the things that I needed to hear. So I'm glad that we're still talking 2 hours in, but we're going to have to wrap it up sometime soon. So thank you, friends, for contributing to the super chat, which is going to Veronica to help her chill in Albania for a little bit longer. Texty Lady, thank you for this. Based on your comments, hi, Cassandra. Based on your comments, Croatia is now on the list. Put it on the list. Yes.
And Google, look at Google Maps for Albania. Look at Berat, Berat. That's one of the cities that I will be going to. And when you see on Google Images, you'll see why.
Uh, okay.
It gives you that South Italy look vibe, but with like castles and things, like that medieval look mixed with the medieval look. Yeah, it's
Berat.
Berat.
All right, I'm
Berat.
gonna look it
So
up.
do that Google Images and you'll see.
All right, I'm putting it on my phone so I don't forget it. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm gonna check it out. All right, and then we'll follow you on Instagram to see it for not for us, but see it through your eyes, vicariously. All right, thank you. And Alba says, Veronica, your resolve is inspiring. I agree.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
agree. Because you've had opportunities to throw in the towel, right? You've had opportunities to turn around. You've had opportunities to not even go in the first place. And you were like,
Right.
nope, I'm doing it. And I see how it's beneficial to me, right? You're seeing how it's benefiting you. And you're leaning into that. You're jumping all into that. I wish you all of the best. I hope that the next time we talk, well, I hope we talk again sooner than that. But I hope the next time we talk, you have the remote job that lets you live your dream, continue to live out your dreams.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. We're not going back to the office. We're not. Okay.
No,
We're not doing
that's off the table. That's
off the
off the table.
table. It's off the table.
It's
Shelly
off.
Aaron, thank you for that super chat. Shelly says, thank you for being you. Regina Jones, thank you for that super chat. Thank you, friends. All right. Thank you for giving to Veronica. And here's another one popping in. Thank you for giving to Veronica. Thank you for giving to each other in the chat, answering each other's
Thank
questions,
you.
helping each
Thank
other
you.
out. Fusion Love Story says thank you also, Veronica. Yeah,
Thank you.
we appreciate you guys for being here, for being okay. Get them in, y'all. I'm not gonna leave until you're done. So get them in so that we can see them. Double T says, "Oh, with a red heart." Double T is giving you a red heart. Giving us a red heart. Thanks, y'all. Get them in before we go.
Oh,
And
yeah. You can definitely message me on Instagram
oh, don't
if you
say
got
it.
any
Oh, I
questions.
wish I had caught you before you said it.
Oh,
Girl, don't say it
what?
because they will.
No, you go ahead. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. The
Yeah,
places I've been now.
yeah. So yes, okay. So yes, she said you can DM her, but child, let her enjoy her vacation, or not her vacation. Let her enjoy her sabbatical. Okay. I don't like DMs. In case you don't know, I don't like them. I don't like them. But I don't. I have my DMs look a little different. My DMs sometimes
Right.
people are not so
Right. You probably
nice.
get like thousands.
Yeah, and sometimes
Right.
they're not nice. Right? All the men who I say you can't come to our stuff, they DM me about it. So
Oh.
it's
Oh
different.
wow.
Mine are different. All right. But thank you for that super chat. Thank you, Leroy Taylor. We appreciate that. And thank you, Savvy Soldier. Thank you for that super chat. Okay. We appreciate you guys. We were saying something. I don't know. Oh yeah, you said okay. So did I put your Instagram on the screen?
I think you did. Yeah.
Okay. So this is her Instagram. She said you can DM her, but child, let her breathe. Okay? Let her live. Okay. All right. Yes, she's been to these places. Okay. But she's not going to plan your trip for you. I don't think you do travel planning.
Oh no, I ain't talking about that now.
Okay.
I'm not doing consulting work,
No.
but like, what's the weather like in Albania? Oh, it's so and so degrees.
I don't know. I don't even think you want those questions, right?
Oh, okay.
If Google will answer your questions, Google it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay,
That's
I
true.
just want to prepare you for this, okay? Because this video,
Okay.
we're talking probably most of the time, we're talking 10,000 views in the first week, okay? So I just want to prepare.
Oh,
You didn't think about that.
no, I didn't think about all that. I didn't think about all of that. So,
Her,
yeah,
her
Google
Instagram will be
can help
private.
you. If Google can help you.
If Veronica's Instagram is private again in a few days, you will know why, okay? She
Right.
got tired of it. All right, let her enjoy her time. Thank you very much, Annabella, and thank you very much, EJ Crittenden, for these super chats. Thank you very much, y'all. Okay. All right, yeah. So Connie Perry has said it. I lost your comment. I meant to put it up on the screen, but Connie Perry has said it. She gave us a little benediction. Let me find it. Wait, that wasn't it, though. She says, pray, believe, and act. Thank you, Veronica. But she had another benediction. A little.
Yeah, pray,
My
believe,
mom
and
is
act.
my mom is a minister,
And,
and she talks in minister talk sometimes. I lost it, but yes.
and
Okay.
that's the
Yes.
word right there. I
That's
see it. Pray, believe, and act. Thank you, Ron. I see it. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's a word from Reverend Connie Perry. All right. So we're closing it down. The summit, yes, register. Yes, you get access to the replays. Okay. If you have any questions, there's a frequently asked question. There's a frequently asked questions section on there. And Rashida and I go live tomorrow on her YouTube channel. I should have told you this a little earlier, I think. Rashida and I go live on her YouTube channel tomorrow to talk house sitting live when Rashida's on the loose. I think I typed that out right. Okay, so you can click on the video link right now so that you can set the reminder so that you get the alert when we do go live at a certain time. I'm going to go with 11. I think Rashida does her lives at 11 Eastern. I do mine at 10. Yes, 11 Eastern time tomorrow, which is Sunday. Okay, so we'll see you over there with your house sitting questions. Michelle, thank you for that super chat. Michelle says, thank you. I loved all that you shared.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I
LaShawn,
think I saw a comment of somebody saying they're from Fort Lauderdale. Hey, I think it was like Annabelle. So, hey, Lauderdale.
your homegirl. And then
Right.
Tavi Libra, thank you for that super chat. All right. Okay. We did it. We did it all. Okay. You're right, y'all. This was great. Okay. This was
Thank
great.
you.
We learned a lot. And yes, Anita, Croatia, here we come. Thank you so much
Croatia.
for sharing. Um, okay, it's going too fast. I can't put it on the screen. I may put on a wig.
But
Don't
we
here. Listen, Leroy, you waited too late to make that comment because Rashida's here now. She is laying down the hammer. Okay, so Rashida, just act like you didn't read that comment because Rashida is laying down the hammer on this. Okay. Yes, Cynthia wishes you a wonderful sabbatical. We all wish you a wonderful
thank
continued
you.
sabbatical.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
the rest of you will see you, or everyone will see you tomorrow on Rashida's channel, and then we'll see you next week at the summit. Okay, we made the summit for you. You've been wonderful in congratulating Veronica and
Thank you.
celebrating the changes that Veronica has made in her life. It can be you. Okay, it's for you. I think you have heard Veronica's words. I don't think she has said anything that would make you think that you're excluded, right? She didn't tell you that she financed this with a trust fund. She didn't tell you that she had a
Okay.
personal travel concierge who planned everything for her. She didn't tell you that she's got 100%, like she's no pain. She didn't tell you that she lives a life free of pain, and that's why this is possible for her. None of those things, okay? None of those things, and yet she was able to do it. So if you want to do it, we want you to work on it, okay? And
Mhm.
that is what we've put the summit together for you to do. So register at exodushomecoming.com. Okay. Yes, you get replays. Uh, that's it. Your questions are answered probably on the page. We have some frequently asked questions on the page. Okay. It's for you. Veronica did it. Veronica went to the summit last year, right? She was in
Sure
Exodus Summit
did.
last year.
And it was very helpful. Very helpful.
And look where she is now. In Albania, in a place we never would have thought, right?
Thriving and surviving.
So thriving. Yes. All right. And there's no easier way for me to say it than to tell you it's for you too. It's for you
Great.
too. Okay. So we'll see you at the summit. Okay. And Veronica, we'll see you soon. Report back, please. Report. We're live
Yes.
here most Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. When you get that remote job and you now are officially out, like not working back in the US ever again, come back and tell us. Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Wonderful. Okay.
All
Thank you so
right.
much, friends. I'll see you guys again. I'll see you tomorrow, and then I'll see you next week at the summit. Thanks so much for joining in.
Bye bye. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Veronica. Hang on. You hang on. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.